Apparently I was wrong about Johnny Storm. He is going full Flame 1. The first image only showed his arm. Hello, and welcome to episode 73 of Comical Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Corbett, and with me is...
the host with the most, the Mex from Tex. You know who I am?
Mini Miguel.
No.
Maxie Miguel.
No. Lord
Mushroom?
Lord Mushroom.
No, Lord, what? No. Lord Horsticles, the one and only. I'm not Mini Miguel. That's Bri-Fi. I'm Mac. Well, don't even like that name anyway. It doesn't come out right. Mushroom Miguel?
Sure.
Lord Horse Mushroom Cleese? No? I don't see how it would work.
We're going to have like a 4-minute intro while you keep talking. Well, we also have some special guests on the show tonight. These two guys we had on about a year ago when they did their very first Kickstarter, Mr. Michael Martin and Adam Orndorff from Nightshade Comics. How are you guys doing today?
Good, thanks.
Doing pretty good. Just hanging out. How are you guys?
Doing excellent.
Yeah.
Miguel's doing wonderful. He's got all kinds of new titles and add-ons to his name you guys didn't even know about.
Magical new hats.
More personalities I can handle.
Yeah.
I can't remember who I am half the time anymore.
He started taking the lithium, but it's not helping.
No, it's not.
It's kind of crazy for a guy with no personality to have that many personalities.
Hey, what are you saying?
There's Merman.
Wham! Bam! Zoom!
And Warpath. Pulling out all the stops, man.
Of course. We got the guys back on. We love these guys. I'm still waiting for my first issue of Blood and Lust.
Oh, yeah. Well, with everything that's been going on in comics right now, I think everybody's afraid to draw Blood and Lust.
Oh, God, yes. Especially, how great was it to see what Frank Cho did, right? I mean, after all that stuff, after all that mess that they talked about him, and then he went ahead and released that book, and then he donated everything to charity.
Yeah. And he got a lot of backlash for it, though.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, he got backlash before people knew what he was doing with the money.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, no.
Major sack. That's what I like to say.
Miguel, you probably don't even know what they're talking about, but you saw the Milo Manara picture a long time ago with the Spider-Woman doing the really erotic pose with her ass in the air.
Yeah, I know.
We made jokes about it or whatever. Mm-hmm. Frank Cho did the same thing with a bunch of other characters.
I saw one with Deadpool, I think.
I don't think he did a Deadpool.
He didn't do Deadpool.
I know it was out there.
It was mostly female characters.
Okay.
Like Harley and Batgirl, stuff like that. Spider-Gwen, I think, was one of them. And he released a book, and I guess he donated the profits to charity. I actually didn't know that part.
He sold the sketch cover.
Well, he got blasted by another blog, and they went after him, and that's when like all of internet started taking bites at him. And then the next thing you know, he went ahead. It was released that he donated everything to a battered women's shelter or something of that effect.
That's awesome.
And it was a sizable amount of money that he got for that sketch cover too. So pretty much all the internet had to say, "Oh man, what do we do?"
Stop being so sensitive, maybe. I don't know.
Exactly. Hello.
Dear Internet, stop being douches.
Definitely stop threatening people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, he got a lot of threats about that.
Yeah, that's the most ridiculous part.
Internet tough people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fun, fair, positive soccer, I'm telling you, is ruining the world.
Well, we got a lot to talk about today, so let's get right into things. Miguel, what were your top 2 books for the week?
Number 2, The Life After. Number 9.
Oh, yeah, Josh Fialkov and Gabo. It's actually my number 2 book as well.
Take a trip to hell.
Yeah, they finally make it into hell. Jude and Ernest Hemingway are not in this issue, for once.
Yeah, because they're busy sunbathing.
Yeah, they've been the focus of the story up until this point. But in issue number 9, it's the daughter of the girl that Jude saved, and all of her little children associates.
I don't know what you call those things.
I don't really know what you call them either. They're like little kid warriors. And they've coerced this demon into coming onto their side, and they're planning to go to hell to try to break the system so they can escape. And the woman who's become like this real tame demon, she just looks like a little hipster girl now. She's like, you really don't want to take me to hell, because when you take me there, whatever enchantment you have on me is going to break, and I'm going to become a bad guy again.
I'm going to eat you.
And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. And she's like, no, I promise it won't. And they're like, no, it'll be okay. Let's go. So if the demon's warning you not to take him to hell, you don't ask the demon to take you to hell.
Exactly. You find another way.
But they went to hell with the demon, and sure enough, first thing that happened when they got there is she broke free, turned into this giant monster, and started eating little kids.
Yeah, that was messed up. She snapped the one in half and like started like, what in the world?
Drinking its blood and stuff. I mean, it was a gruesome and crazy book.
And then she threw out, "You turned me into a hipster."
That's exactly what you expect from Fialkov, and I loved it. I mean, Life After is one of my favorite series that's coming out right now. So
yeah,
good.
poor Bunny.
Have either of you guys read that one?
No, I haven't. I've actually gone way far back. I've been trying to catch up on a bunch of stuff, so I'm a little bit behind on new stuff. I read Superman Red Sun.
Okay.
And I love the hell out of the all new X-Men.
Oh yeah, the first like 20 issues of that are just incredible.
Oh my god, it's brilliant, and it hasn't lost its steam either. I love what Bendis has done with it, and the artwork is beautiful. I'm just so in love with the art.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about all new X-Men in just a minute.
Oh yeah. Oh duh, I forgot about that.
Spoilers.
Yeah, really, right?
What was your number one this week, Miguel?
Well, number one was Rick Remender's Deadly Class, number 12.
Yeah, Rick Remender and Wes Craig. It's a good issue. I'm a big fan of Remender. I'm a big fan of his writing, and I love this series. But it's kind of gotten a little bit lackluster for me.
Because they're not in the school.
Because they haven't been at the school for a really long time. Not since issue 2, or issue 3, I think. And there's this whole love triangle thing going on with Saya and Maria. And it's just kind of lost its interest for me. It's lost a little bit of its flavor.
Even all the hell that just broke loose.
Well, I have to agree that the house where they were fighting Fuckface and his army of rednecks was a pretty interesting fight scene. But once they're through that, it's just them running through the streets from Maria's ex-boyfriend's crazy family. And, I mean, they are relentless, and they are definitely sick, twisted, evil dudes. But it's just not that interesting. Not that much happened in this issue.
Marcus got thrown off a bridge.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, well, no, he got smashed. Yeah, he got thrown. The last scene you see him falling, or maybe he's just laying down on the ground.
He's laying in a pool of blood on the
Well, he
ground.
got the crap beat out of him.
Yeah, he got beat up, but...
And they took the girl.
I mean, it advances the story. I'm not saying it doesn't advance the
How
story.
you not like crazy Mexican guy on a motorcycle?
Because it's been done to death. It wasn't anything original.
I've never seen a crazy Mexican on a motorcycle.
You never seen a Danny Trejo movie.
In a comic book.
Okay. It was good.
He's better than Ghost Rider.
It didn't quite make my top.
That's right, I said it. I said it.
Are you talking Ghost Rider the movie or Ghost Rider the comic?
Ghost Rider the comic in the car.
The current one? Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, the current one's kind of stupid.
Danny Trejo on the bike. I love it. What was your number one?
My number one was actually The Empty Number 3 from Jimmy Robinson. This book has really taken a hold of me. It's this story of this wasteland, and this girl washes up, and she has the ability to heal the wasteland. Anything she touches, she can make grow. And the girl she's teamed up with is this kind of outcast from her society. She's a hunter. She'd always go out there and find stray animals and come back and feed the village, that kind of thing. Well, they've gone on a quest to try to destroy these evil roots that have sprung up and are just, they're the cause of this decayed wasteland that they live in. Well, they find out that there's some kind of machinery inside of the roots. They're not actually organic. So they start tracing them to the source. And they end up on this island of bugs. And the bugs have been alive and evolving for so long, and they've been mutated by whatever toxic gas is coming out of these tubes, that they've gained the ability to speak. They've gained the ability to, but they don't even speak normally. They use like vibrations from their wings to create sounds that sound like words that the people can understand.
That's pretty freaking cool.
It was really awesome.
Awesome.
Big ass freaking grasshopper.
Yeah, there's so mmany really interesting and intricate little things in this book, and I absolutely loved it.
Well, the art is what, messed with us at the beginning. But
it's a very unique style, and it took some getting used to. Like the first issue, I felt like he didn't really do as good of a job with the art as he could have, but we talked about that and said that he was the writer and the artist and the inker and the colorist and the editor. He did everything on his own. He did the entire book by himself. All 3 books, as a matter of fact. The first one, the art definitely suffered a little bit because I think he was doing so much and he wasn't used to what he was doing yet. By this time, he's hit his stride. The artwork's much better in the 3rd issue than it was
still
in the
looks
first.
the same to me.
Oh, no, it's improved. I can promise you that.
I mean, I didn't have too much problem with it before. I just thought he was doing too much. But, yeah, I like the book, too. I just don't like what happened at the end.
Yeah, it
I'm kind of a little mad right now.
It leaves you on a crazy cliffhanger because with the insects, they like make the people fight in an arena, and it's a crazy cliffhanger.
So I'm curious to see what happens. I mean, we talked about it at the office today. So I'm wondering if what you said, I don't want to give spoilers away. I'm wondering if, they're really not what I think they are. But that's actually my pick of the week.
I think it's the best new book that people haven't found out about yet. So hopefully people do because it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm waiting for book number 4 now. I need to find out what happened. So that was my pick of the week. What was your pick of the week?
My pick of the week was actually a new book from Chip Zdarsky and Kagan McLeod called Kaptara number 1, or Kaptara.
Nice.
Issue number 1.
Nice job. Just rename it.
It's about this group of space explorers, and they're on some kind of mission to like save Earth. So they go through this wormhole, and as they're traveling through it, they're ill prepared for it. And there's these aliens that are in there with them, and their ship just starts falling apart. So they escape through pods, and they end up crash landing on this planet. Well, as soon as they crash land, all these monsters start attacking them, and pretty much only one dude survives. And he gets captured by the locals and taken before their king, and he claims that he's the prince of dance or something. Claims that he's royalty, and they take it literally, obviously. They don't realize that he's like making an asinine joke, and so they treat him like royalty. There was a lot of really interesting comparisons to He-Man and the Masters of the Universe in this book, which I think is why I loved it so much. I love the fact that the bad guy's name is Skoldor, and that the royal prince or whatever is this huge, buff, He-Man looking dude with like a real girly haircut. There's just so many things in the book that really spoke to me, and a lot of the jokes I really got this time, so definitely a better first issue for Chip Zdarsky than Howard the Duck was.
When I picked it up and I read it here, because I bought it too, at first I thought he was kind of lazy. The art on the people. Like, ugh. Like, what the hell? And it just seemed, I don't know, it just didn't grab me at the beginning. Then finally they go through the stupid wormhole. And, they didn't even go through it. Remember, it drug them in.
Yeah.
It yanked them in there.
Right, they didn't have a choice.
And everything started breaking. All hell broke loose, and then this creature starts attacking the guy. I didn't know all the other guys died. I didn't really know. You really don't.
Well, you may still have one or two of them pop up, but you know at least 3 of them died.
The cool part was when the other people showed up, and the big warrior pops out, and then you see the bad guy. That's when it actually got interesting to me. So at the beginning, he might have lost a few people, but after about midway, that's when it picks up. So I may get one more and try it out. I liked Howard the Duck. I didn't have a problem with Howard the Duck.
Yeah,
it was fine for me because I like Howard the Duck. Period. Anyway, so I was good with that. But that's your pick.
I like
your choice.
What about you guys? Have you read anything interesting recently that you'd like to talk about?
No, man. I am currently in full on production mode of everything. I don't get time to do anything but create, write, and do everything that we have to do in order to get the book out. So no, I'm not even aware that anybody else makes comics but me at this point.
What about you, Adam?
Like I said, right now, if I have any spare time, it's pretty much catching up on all new X-Men. My friend loaned me Batwoman Volume 1, so I'm checking out that. I've always been a huge J.H. Williams fan, so I love the hell out of that. But like Mike said, I mean, the bottom line is that there's so much time putting into getting this thing going and just working through the Kickstarter and just trying to get everything done, that there's been like zero time to dedicate towards reading anything new. I did, however, pick up there's a like a collectibles card shop, and the guy had these oversized Conan magazines from the 70s.
Okay.
And he sold them to me for like $1 a pop.
Awesome.
And yeah, they got like old Neil Adams stuff and old, Sal Buscema artwork and stuff like that, and it's beautiful. And it's all in black and white, so you really don't have it with that tortured coloring from the 70s. It's perfect.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I understand you guys being extremely busy and not having a chance to read. I mean, I don't know how at times we pull off reading 30-something books.
Yeah, I think if our show was not about comic books, we wouldn't have time to read comic books.
I said something on Twitter a little while ago that it's amazing the different skills that I've had to learn to produce a book. It's my day job is project management, so everything that I do is moving things through phases and everything. And then it's also in creativity. So then you do that all day long, and then you come home, and then you have your other project that you work through, where, I have to learn Photoshop, Illustrator. When we did the Kickstarter video, I did everything through Premiere Pro and After Effects and everything else. So I'm learning the green screen and all these other things. And it's like, this is just a little bit insane that I have to learn so many jobs in order to be able to put out the book. If I could only just learn to draw and color, I could just really save myself a whole lot of, it would be awesome.
But at the end of the day, it's so worth it, isn't it?
Oh, that's the cool part is I have no idea what else I would do at this point, because it's so, when I wake up in the morning and I get, messages from Roy with new pages, or, when I get stuff from Raymond and then the other work that we get to do and the people we get to work with, I have no other thing that I want to do but this.
I'm super grateful to Mike, man, because if he wasn't wearing all those hats, I have no idea where this thing would be. I mean, I see all the work that he puts into it. It's like you said, there's a pretty good reason why he's not reading anything, because literally the dude, what do you sleep, like 4 hours a night, 5 hours?
Yeah, something like that.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, I'll be the nice guy now here. I mean, this podcast is a lot of the stuff that we do here would not be possible if it wasn't for my mate over here, Justin, just doing everything.
Just call me your mate?
Yeah, that's right, my mate. That's right. I'm doing the BK. Yeah,
that's sexy.
Welcome to Australia.
You can get married in Texas now, right?
Oh, I don't love him that much.
I'm not mating with you. I'm sorry, dude.
Even though the wife says the bromance is on.
It may be a bromance, but there's no mating going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, Adam's my heterosexual life mate, so I feel you. I get you. Seriously, that's the key part. People ask, what's the thing? And it's finding the right team and finding the right partnership, man. It's you guys doing your podcast. It's us doing the book. Finding that right team is the thing that makes you be able to be successful, man. I can't even imagine trying to do it by myself.
No, God, no. It would be the. Remember, I sent you the mock cover for the world's worst drawn comic book, and that's pretty much where it stopped. That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, without Mike, it doesn't. I can handle a lot of the creative aspect of it, but the reality is that without Mike to be able to go ahead and step in and be our, I call him our Steve Jobs, our Barker, because let's face it, when I'm at a con, I can talk to people, but he engages them. He's there and he's going and he's engaging. He's bringing people into our table, into our circle, so that they want to go ahead and hear more about the book. And that, I mean, there are a lot of things I can do. And again, I'm not like a total introvert. I don't just like hide under the table or anything. But the reality is that if he wasn't doing that, God, how this thing would look.
No, I feel you. Whenever we go to cons, I'm the same way. I'm not an introvert, obviously. I can talk to people, but I'm not a very outgoing person either. And it's very hard for me to walk up to strangers and be like, hey, can I talk or whatever? But Miguel has no problem with that. Like he doesn't care what's going on. He just walks up to random people and he's like, hey, come talk to us.
Thanks, man.
That's great about being born without a shame gene. God, how are you? I'm Miguel. I'd like to be your friend.
Exactly, yeah. I've got a Miguel myself, and this one here, man, he's fearless when it comes to talking to people. He'll chat anybody up.
Which is the stupidest thing in the world to say. Because I absolutely hate talking to people.
Which is so bizarre, man, because and if you see him go at the con, there is not a single person that he won't chat up. And it's like, hey, most of the time, once you get near the end, you're like, and you all seen it, you get like at the 65-70% mark at the con, and your face is all droopy, and you're just tired of being there. Mm-hmm. And you're like, it's awesome you're there, and there's people coming around, but you're also at the same time, you're like, oh, I've been here behind this table for a long time. This guy, man, he doesn't even show it. He's just up on his feet and ready to roll.
That's passion.
And then I collapse the second they close.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like when I go shopping with my wife and my kids, and then my wife would be like, she'll look at my daughter, where's your dad? Oh, he's over there talking to some dude. We don't even know who he is. It's some guy he just met walking in the store, and he said hello to my dad, and Dad just told him his life story, and now he knows what his story is.
Yeah, all the time Miguel comes up to me and he's like, hey, I gave the business card to somebody at the gas station. They're going to check out the show. Or, hey, I was at the grocery store buying fruit, and I talked to somebody, and they're going to check out the show. And it's just like, where do you meet these people?
Yeah, I was just in California, and the waitress, the manager's now carrying our cards at a restaurant in California.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Hey, man, there is nothing wrong with shameless self-promotion, man. You don't see a post from me right now that doesn't have my Kickstarter linked to it, or it doesn't matter, man. It's that nobody's going to know you're there until you let them know.
Well, why don't we talk about the Kickstarter, since that's what this is actually supposed to be about?
And not me?
And not about you. It's not all about you, man.
Oh, I thought it was.
So why don't you tell them kind of I know we had you talk about Blood and Dust before, and you told everybody the pitch, but why don't you refresh them on what Blood and Dust is all about? So
Blood and Dust is the story of the first American vampire. Judd Glennie was a Civil War soldier. He rode with Quantrill's Raiders, and that was the worst of the worst. That was Frank and Jesse James, the younger brothers, Bloody Bill Anderson. The worst people in the war were in that group, and Judd was the worst of them. So when the war was over, he went out west and was trying to cleanse himself, and went on a spirit quest and was possessed by the spirit of the vampire, one that they didn't even think was real, and so he became the first American vampire. After the possession, he would rode the West as the most feared terror that there was. People didn't even know that, whether he was real or legend, but towns would end up disappearing because of him. So after doing that for about 50 years, he found out that he had family. And so he went to find that family, and when he found them, his great-granddaughter who he found had 3 children, and she was dying. So in an effort to try and not lose the family that he just found, he turned her, but what he didn't know is that her brain was ate up with scarlet fever. So she became a complete feral monster and ended up turning her kids. So out of penance and out of his mistake, Judd has now spent the past 50 or so years as a babysitter to a little vampire family in the swamps of Oklahoma. Basically, he's got an agreement because in that swamp there is a creature that lives there that takes the kids of the little town. And Judd has an agreement with the town. He goes in and gets them, and they in turn leave him and his family be. Because all he wants to do is be left in peace and be left alone. But as we say, then comes a knock at the door.
Yeah. Issue 2, you guys sent us an early copy of it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I loved issue 1, too. But I really liked the swamp monster and everything about it. I loved the design. I loved the fight. It was just really cool.
He looks so
Awesome.
badass, doesn't he?
Yeah, it really does.
Thank you. Yeah, Roy Allen Martinez. He is our artist. Roy did a book called Wicked a while back. He's done House of M. He's done Wonder Woman.
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. And he's absolutely brilliant. And you know, we loved issue 1. You know, Rudy did a great job in issue 1, but it was never exactly what, in my mind, it should have looked like. And when Adam found Roy and shot him over to my way, I was like, oh my God. And first, you know, he agreed to do 3 test pages for us. And by the time the second one got to me, I'm like, you're done. You're on the clock. Start.
Well, and what's even funnier about Roy is, you know, what really attracted me to him was not his comic work. It's looking at his he had these just freehand sketches that he was drawing, really, really messed up, weird looking stuff. And I kept thinking to myself, I was like, if I take this really messed up thing that he drew, and then I take whatever really messed up thing might be floating around Mike's head at this point in time, and I combine those 2 things and make one really messed up, weird looking baby, people are going to buy that baby. And it's going to work out.
Yeah, our baby is very, very twisted.
Our baby's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of disappointed because I'm going to have to wait a really long time to read issue 3, I think. And
God, no. Don't say that.
You guys left me on a pretty severe cliffhanger in issue 2.
Well, we did that with issue 1 too, you know, and it's been not quite a year. You guys, you got that must be in October. I'll say that what we did was we actually had Roy redraw issue 1 because we wanted consistency. And we knew that with what we were wanting to do, we needed it in color and we needed it consistent. So we just finished issue 1. I have issue 1 in my hot little hands with Roy's redraw. Now we just need to send it on to Raymond. Raymond Lee is our colorist. You may know that from X-Men, Avengers. He's Will Spartacio's personal colorist, and Raymond is just insane when he does. I mean, what did you guys think of the coloring of the book? I mean, you're talking a vampire book at night. What did that look like for you?
It looked awesome. I thought he did an amazing job adding so much depth to the swamp. Because a lot of times swamps are just kind of washed out, brown, black, a little bit of green here and there, but it's never like the focal point. But he really did a lot with green.
Yeah. I mean, the work is so detailed. Yeah, the work is so detailed that Roy does. And then Raymond just loves doing his work. And that's the cool part, is it really shows how much they both really love this book. And that's amazing to me. That's the coolest thing, is to have 2 guys that are so incredible, that are like, I mean, Raymond's like, please let me do this. Please let me do this. Please let me do this. I mean, he literally sends us things going, I just couldn't get this out of my head, so here. I'm like, that's freaking cool. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
With regards to Ray, we woke up on New Year's Day. We each had an email waiting for us, and it was this beautiful, beautiful painting. And the tagline was just, I just had to do this. And it was the Boggy Depot monster fighting Judd. And it'll be in the back of the book, but it is literally one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, as far as just somebody just straight up saying, I want to do this digitally, and producing this digital painting. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's the cover page of my Facebook profile.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
I love the book. I was just letting you guys talk. I really did. It's so freaking awesome. I mean, I'm like,
there's Miguel.
Kicking some Swamp Thing ass here. Come on. Kick some ass. Nice. And I can't wait to see what the other character looks like. Like Justin was saying, the cliffhanger or whatever. Yeah, I can't wait that long, man. Come on.
Oh, going into Mom's room, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what other character is he talking about?
Yeah, going in the Ruth's room.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that. Oh God, I cannot wait for you guys to see that.
I mean, I seriously,
Oh my God.
I read it and I was drooling. I'm like, oh my God, how badass he's going to be. I can't wait to see this.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much fun for guys.
Well, and that's kind of the thing is when we were writing on, one is you're establishing, we're establishing a little bit of the story, and two is the really good ramp up. Two is where we really start catching speed and you start really seeing what you're really looking at and kind of getting some perspective. And three is where we burn the house down.
Basically.
Yeah, three just goes insane, and you're just like, oh wow.
When I
read, what's crazy? I look at it and I see how we wrote it, and if you've ever read a Warren Ellis book, they read super fast, but you get a lot of content. That's what this is. When you get to 3, you're gonna be like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that, because when I was reading the 2, I was like, holy crap, I'm going a little too fast. Let me slow down. I want to take in every little picture, see what's actually going on, because it's capturing, and you're right, you can read through it pretty quickly. You want to go back and read it again, just to make sure you didn't miss anything. And what I was going to say earlier, this book is really, really, really good. I could actually see it as like a TV series, maybe something like Kirkman doing it or something like on AMC or maybe doing it on a Netflix type thing. I mean, it's that good. I mean, I feel it could actually be a TV show.
Oh, God, that would be amazing.
Thanks, man. That's, we're hoping. We're really kind of hoping that we've heard that quite a bit, and by a lot of industry people, which is really cool. As far as the book itself, when you're looking at it, that's the cool part is the way Roy drew it. You really want to look at each panel. I mean, you want to really kind of drink in each panel and see exactly what he put in there. And when you see the level of detail and the craziness that's in there, it's just like, wow.
Yeah, Roy's freaking talented.
He is seriously the most talented artist I have ever seen. I will say this in front of anybody. I don't care who you put in front of me. I will tell you right now that I have the best team in comics. There's nobody that can throw down against my guys and be better than them.
I agree with that. Initially, we were going to ink issue 2, and I sat down and I started working with issue 2 and started trying to ink it. And one panel took me, I think I told Mike it took me like 8 hours to do one panel.
Yeah.
Because as intricate as Rudy's artwork was, Roy's is off the hook, man. It's so crazy intricate. And then I was looking at the pages for issue 1, the redraws that we got in, and number one, my right hand is super happy that it's not inking this. And yeah, exactly. And then I'm looking at it further, and he actually got more detailed in issue 1, and he put more. You can see more of him getting more comfortable with the characters and getting more of a feel for it. And it's beautiful. Issue 2 is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, and issue 1 is just going to blow people's minds when they see it because there's just nothing that he can't do. I think that we've had to do very, very, very little editorial work, if any at all, with him, because he's just the kind of artist you let run. And then you let Ray go, he's just going to go run like crazy as well. They know what they're doing, and it's beautiful.
Well, I know Justin's already backed you. As soon as I get my stupid Kickstarter thing to work right, I'm about to back you. Because I saw on the one where you get a copy of the issue 1 again. And so I'm like, that's the one I'm going to pick right now. But I can't get my stupid password, so I had to reset myself. So I'm waiting for the password to come back. That's why I was quiet. I was listening to you and trying to get my stupid Kickstarter to work so I could say, hey, I just backed you guys.
Nice. Well, thank you guys, man. We really appreciate that. I mean, this one, we have a higher goal than we had last time. Obviously, adding color and the level of talent that we really went with. Obviously, this book cost some pretty good money to produce, but it was well worth it for us.
Yeah, it looks like it's worth it for sure. I can't wait to read to see the new version of number 1. Also, I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I posted some pictures on my Facebook and Instagram, and like one of my favorite ones is the hunting scene. If you remember in issue 1, where the boys are out and hunting the deer, and they take down the deer. Mm-hmm. And that was a really cool scene. I looked at it again the other day that Rudy did. I'm like, man, that's still awesome. But then I looked at the one Ray did, and I'm like, it's a totally different view of it. It's completely different. And it's just still, I was like, and it's comparing apples and oranges because it's such a different way they approach the scene. But the way he did the scene is just off the hook. I was just blown away.
I'm looking forward to checking it out.
There's another page he did. It's the flashback page where they show the different sequences of time frames from Judd, how long he's been there. And again, the way that Roy approached it is just so different, and it makes the page look completely different. And there's no such thing as a throwaway page; they're all important. But when you see this and you're looking at how it's done, it's like, wow, it adds a whole new element to it.
Well, we'll do whatever we can to promote the hell out of it for you.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be retweeting you guys and
retweeting
sharing
Facebook
on
and Instagram, and we'll do it all as we can to help
you.
you.
Did it the first time, we'll do it again.
Thank you so much.
Right on. We appreciate it, guys.
Well, I did want to briefly touch on your podcast, Mike, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
So why don't you tell everybody, you just recently started a show called the BAMcast with you and two of your friends where you talk about comics and pop culture and all that kind of stuff. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about your show?
So BAM, it stands for Brian Augustin, Amanda Michaels, and Michael Martin. If you don't know who Brian Augustin is, he worked for DC for 20 some odd years. He wrote the Batman story Gotham by Gaslight, the first Elseworlds. It's up there with The Killing Joke as the most popular DC book. He was the editor for The Flash for a really long time, did the Mark Waid run with The Flash. So he's got great insight into the business and has a tremendous amount of friends that he wants to lean on to bring in. So we should have some pretty cool guests to talk with us coming up. Amanda's a good friend of mine, and then me, and we just basically talk about things we see in pop culture. Brian really likes to approach some sort of social subject. So our first episode we talked about the Raphael Albuquerque cover of Batgirl, and talked a little bit about Gamergate and the trying to ostracize girls by some people. And then on the second episode, we talked a little bit more about the Frank Cho piece and some other items. And we really want to try and focus more on independent comics also, and highlight some people that we know that are doing tremendous work. So, we kind of mix it up and have a varied kind of thing. But so far, it's been really interesting.
Yeah, I listened to the first episode. I'm going to check out the second one tomorrow. But all three of you are very eloquent speakers, and it's a lot of fun to listen to. So I'm giving it my stamp of approval. If any of the comical listeners are looking for something else to check out, go listen to BAMcast because it's pretty good.
What, I can't speak?
I didn't say anything.
You're looking at me like I can't speak. What?
Since when has that ever stopped you from talking?
Never. I just subscribe to you guys.
I keep trying to stop Adam all the time, and he just keeps going. So
I just located you on iTunes, and I just subscribed.
Did you find us on iTunes? Right on.
Yes, I did, and I just subscribed, so I'll be downloading the 2 episodes before I leave here this evening.
Awesome. Thank you.
Look at that. Subscribing to your podcast, donating to the Kickstarter.
You guys love me. You really, really love me.
I'll give you my kidney. I don't know if you want
Hey,
it.
remember, man, I'm only operating on part of one. I might need that one of these days.
I take that back. Justin, why are you offering up kidneys?
Hey, man, I'm taking anybody up. I only have part of a kidney left. I'm looking for anybody who's ready to
You're
give
going to
us
have a Franken kidney.
Hey, right. I don't know, man. Mixing up me and Miguel, that might be a little messed up.
That might be pretty freaking awesome.
It could be all kinds of awesome. I would tell you one thing, with a new kidney from you, I would say without a doubt that I would wake up in the morning and piss excellence.
That's awesome. See, these guys rock, man. I know you got a bunch of great stories to tell us, so how about you tell me a funny story?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a story from back when I was 16 years old. I went to the dentist with my mom.
40 years ago.
40 years ago? No, not quite. It was about 15 years ago, but I had to get my wisdom teeth taken out. I had 3 wisdom teeth growing in, and they were growing in at a really bad angle, and it was extremely painful. They were jamming into my other teeth, so I had to have oral surgery to have them removed. So my mom took me to the dentist, and I had been taking I've been taking Vicodin to prepare for the...
You still taking it?
Vitamins, Vicodin. Thank you.
Like I feel like Barry on American Dad.
Yeah.
My vitamins. No. I took Vicodin before I went to do the surgery, and I went in and I was kind of loopy or whatever. But then they actually put me under. They gave me the gas, and they did the surgery. And midway through,
I give you the gas every day.
I know you do, you bastard. Midway through, I woke up and I had to go to the bathroom. So I was all loopy and not in very good control of my body or whatever. So my mom put me over her shoulder and dragged me to the bathroom, and I went in, and she closed the door and just kind of stood there and asked me if I was okay or whatever. And I finished, washed my hands, came out. What?
She was in there with you?
No, she was outside the door.
Okay, you didn't say that. I thought she went in there with you. Okay, go ahead.
So I come out.
Do you want me to wipe your bottom?
This is almost that bad. So I was loopy, and I walked out, and I hugged my mom, and I said, I love you. She said, I love you too. And I was like, can I have my blankie? She goes, what? I want my blankie. It's cold in here. And all of the doctors and dentists and whatever were standing around, and they all heard me say that. And they all laughed at me. And that's the only thing I remember about that surgery, was everybody laughing at me because I asked for my blankie. And then when I had to go back in for one more checkup, they were all like, oh, do you want a blankie? They were all making fun of me.
I thought you were going to go somewhere dark with this. I was going to tell me like your appendage was hanging out or something. It's cold. Well, stick it back in, man.
It wasn't very dark, but I got made fun of for asking for my blankie because I was all hopped up on drugs. And that's my funny story.
You wimp. Yeah. I'm not going to tell a funny story. I don't have it. I did mine last week.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the time you hopped up on drugs.
Oh, whoa.
Aside from today.
I think that's actually my cue.
You got one for us today, Mike?
It's kind of a little bit of a parable also. So life lessons to learn, kids. We're going to pull up next to the campfire and pull your ears up close. So part of the fun part about being a creator, and part of the hard part about being a creator, is putting yourself out there, right? Promotion and trying to get people to look at your book and trying to get people to go to your web page or support a Kickstarter and stuff. That's hard stuff. It's not easy, and everybody that's on my Facebook and all the other feeds at this time of year when we do a Kickstarter, like, please God, never let me hear from this dude again. They put me on mute for about a month and then come back. But, in efforts to try and promote the stuff, we put some pages out there. So I went on a Facebook Comic-Con page and posted up some pages from Blood and Dust. Put them up there and say, hey, everybody, have a look. We got a Kickstarter going on, links down in the comments, and so I got my very first troll. And it was so exciting for me because I think that's your first mark of success in the business, is not how many people tell you they like your stuff. It's the people that will go out of the way to put you down. And so I felt very honored at this point because the little dude in little comments pops up and says, this is a straight up ripoff of Swamp Thing, cease and desist. Which I'm like, wow, a legal order, right? In the comments of Facebook. Holy crap, that's awesome. So I'm like, okay. And Adam pops on, and this is the funny part. Adam and I approach things a little differently. He's very, hey, let me engage you. I know that I'm not going to feed the troll. So Adam pops on and says, oh, no, it's actually about this and whatever. And I send Adam a text. I'm like, don't feed the troll. Just leave him alone. But then another friend of mine, Nathan Slack, who is a creator out of England, he does a book called Instruments of Darkness, which is also a historical vampire book. And so Nathan pops on and says, no, it's really not like that. It's really a vampire story. It's got a really different twist, so I think it's really pretty cool. So, I don't think you should judge it just by, there's a big swampy monster in there. And whereupon the little dude pipes back, with the hilarious response of, I'm going to notify DC, you can't do this. And then another response directly underneath that one that said, eat shit. which I'm just like, well, eloquent yet succinctly to the point. So this little dude certainly has his grammatical flow in order. But I'm laughing. But then upon Nathan responds back, which cracked me up, because Nathan responds back with what the only thing you could possibly say, no, you eat shit. So for me, the first trolling experience and watching people interact and argue over our story and our book and our characters was something that was pretty epic and pretty funny to me, and I enjoyed quite a bit.
That's awesome. We don't have any trolls yet.
We got somebody that gave us a 1-star. Still trying to find out who the hell that guy is. Kick his ass.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, man. I mean, wouldn't you say that if someone took the time out to say these two jackasses should have their microphones taken away and never allowed to speak to the public again, wouldn't you take that more as a badge of honor than, oh, no, I should stop podcasting?
That's right. I'm bringing it on. Come on, join the show. Come on. I got something for you.
Totally. It's like, well, fuck, homie. If you want to bring it. Let's do this.
Well, there was also that guy at Amazing. Remember, he walked, or no, it was Tucson. He walked up to our table, and the first thing he said, nothing positive. He just had this ugly look on his face, and he goes, oh, so you're doing a Wolverine knockoff. And
Yeah.
it's like, are you out of your fucking mind? Do you even look at
At
this?
least they got the balls to actually look at you and say it, man. I'll give them respect because
Yeah,
at least you're
well-
looking at me. I'm just going to smile at you and go, you know what? You are a very astute gentleman. Why don't you show me what you've created?
He probably prefers
Yeah,
his
exactly.
vampires to sparkle, you know.
Right,
Why do you keep
right.
bringing that up?
Oh, what do you see some of the prints that we're having Raymond do for that? That's actually going to be a lot of fun. We are incorporating some Twilight into our stuff.
Now Miguel's really on board.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, no, you'll dig these, boys. These are going to be fun.
Well, Mike, we had one other troll, remember? We had that lady that walked up to us in Tucson, and she walked up and she started looking at her book, and we were like, okay, cool, she's interested. And then she starts just railing against it and how the violence and the gore and the language. I'm like, okay, you're at a Comic-Con, man. You're not, this isn't Disneyland. And then she looks at the back and she goes, oh, what's this? A kid's book. Because we had the Nightlight preview on the back of it. Mm-hmm. And, I explained the concept of Nightlight to her. It's a really sweet little kid's book where, in order to empower his daughter to not be afraid of monsters anymore, he makes her into a superhero, which is beautiful. And she goes, oh, so what? Now you're going to go ahead and feed the fact that monsters are real. I was like,
Yeah.
Are you kidding me with this shit?
I'm like, bitch, monsters are real. You're speaking to one. Stay fine.
Go away. Go to another table. Just get away from us.
She's probably the
I
same
can
woman.
handle criticism, too. It's just like, really, lady?
She's probably the same lady complaining about the Batgirl cover. That's those kind of people. Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Jesus. Should have hit her with the book. Take
I
this
just
for
looked at-
free. Oh.
Yeah, here.
See, they're bringing the slap back, see?
And there's some
Well,
things you stand there, you're like, what the hell what just happened?
Well, that's funny though, man, because you know what? And this is the funny part because Adam and I are a little different on a couple of things. Adam is he would be just beside himself if you said, Adam, we want you to draw a Tights book. He'd be like, hell yeah, let's do that.
Done.
And I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. So I mean, we have different approaches and stuff, and this is where it's hard for him because I'm totally cool with you being offended and freaked out by my book. In fact, I encourage the fuck out of it. Because you should look at what I'm doing and know that is not for your kids and this is not normal, and I'm totally on that. And so for this lady to do that, I'm like, hell yeah, thank you.
With me, I couldn't care less, and this is what I'm doing. I'm very proud of this work, but that has happened to me before too. I did a book in the late '90s called The Zodiac. It was a creator-owned book for another company, and I had a book signing. And we were selling, if y'all remember the ash can craze of the 90s, mm-hmm. we were selling like little ash cans of the book for like $1, some absurd small amount of money. And these kids walked up and I told the publisher, I was like, hey man, you might want to watch what they're buying. And he's like, well, if they have the money and I'm going to sell it to them. I was like, okay. Mind you, my book has I was heavily influenced by Garth Ennis at that point and Preacher. Mm-hmm. So there were a lot of F-bombs that were flying around my book and nudity and all kinds of stuff. It was really, family friendly.
Yeah.
And yeah, some kid bought my book. I think he was like 11 years old. And his mom walks back up because I had my little placard up with my name. And she goes, did you write this? And she throws my book on the table. I said, yeah. I said, I wrote it and I signed it. And she's like, my son just bought this book. And she got pissed. And she was really just freaking out. And I said, were you here with him when he bought it? And she goes, no. I said, so let me get this straight. Your fucking kid walked up to my table, paid $1 for my book. You were nowhere to be found. And now you're upset because your kid was doing things that you don't like, and you weren't there. Do I have this right? And I got $1 from our little thing, and I threw it on the table, and I said, you're not allowed to buy my book. You can leave now.
That's awesome.
And she turned around. I think I was maybe about 20 or 21, and she had this horrified look. I said, you can leave. I'm not selling you my book. And your son, you should do a better job of parenting, because obviously you don't know what he's into. That might lead to future problems. And she was pissed, but she left.
Professor Adam teaching parenting 101. I love it.
That was a pretty good moment.
Yeah, we here at Comical Podcast don't give a damn what people think.
Nope.
We do.
But I'll tell you what,
We'll
I
give
do want to draw a Tights book. I want to write a Batman book. I would love to write Batman or any one of those, sure.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I mean, I let my kids read pretty much anything. I mean, the world the way it is now. I never sheltered my daughter or my oldest boy, and I'm not sheltering the two that I have now. I feel it's better. They talk to me about everything, too, now. I mean, all my kids talk to me. So I don't have a problem with them reading comics. Matter of fact, the boys love to read comics, and they read some Violet comics. And I took my daughter to see some Violet movies as a young girl, but she's fine.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with anything my cats watch on TV.
Your cats are Violet, man. They just scratched my boy.
He probably started it.
They're rumbling in the living room.
No, I don't have any kids, so I can't speak to that. But I do kind of like the don't give a fuck attitude, because I've never really cared what people think about me. I do what I want to do the best that I can, and if I'm happy with it, that's all that really matters. And I wish more people would take that approach with life.
Well, like I said, keep a close relationship with my kids. They tell me everything. And, I mean, they know I'm dad. I'm not their best friend, but they can talk to me when we hang out and we enjoy ourselves. I mean, it's the greatest thing in the world. Yeah. I mean, they're here. Yeah. They like listening to us, believe it or not.
Well, somebody's got to, right?
I know, right? Yeah, we get that one download every day, every month.
Yay, my family.
They're waiting so they can be our first troll.
Well, just encourage them. I was like, you need to talk more shit to me. You know that, right? I'll feel more loved if you talk shit to me and talk about how bad I am.
I try to encourage them.
You can use them. We could be their practice dummy, so you can hear a troll on them for a little while and then move on to us.
Well, yeah, they think Justin's the coolest thing in the world. I'm nothing compared to him.
Smart kids.
Nice.
Well, we talked earlier a little bit about all new X-Men. And we talked a little bit about dealing with controversial issues in comics. So today, All New X-Men number 40 came out, and Brian Michael Bendis decided to change an original X-Man in a very drastic way, and that was by making Bobby Drake into a gay guy. And apparently Bobby, as a kid, as the young X-Man, is gay, but Bobby as an adult is not. And there's definitely some controversy. People are upset about it. Some people are very upset about the way it happened in particular, because he didn't out himself. Jean Grey read his mind and then said, "Hey, Bobby, why are you gay?"
She didn't say it like that.
Why not? Have you seen the ass on that dude over there in the leather pants? I'm around these guys all freaking day.
He's like, Angel's kind of hot.
Yeah, he did. It was like, he's too pretty to be gay.
Have you seen Logan's bulge?
Oh,
seriously.
Nobody has a lot of hair.
How do you guys feel about them making major changes to characters that are that old?
They're going to do that, man. I mean, that's the thing. Just put it on the list. Female Thor, Spider-Gwen. It's just another thing. Making Nick Fury black. It's them trying to diversify and change things up. I mean, it's just business as normal. That's Brian and I talked about on our podcast. These things happen. They have to do. They're trying to have more, inclusion and show diversity in comics. Remember, DC and Marvel is really Warner Brothers and Disney, and you don't see a lot of new stuff. They don't add a lot of characters. The ones that they do add, take a lot of build. So they take an established one, and now he's gay. Okay, how much is that going to affect the storyline? I would say little to none.
Yeah.
But these are corporate characters owned by corporations that are trying to show inclusion and diversity. Welcome to what we're doing now.
If you come out issue 5, Joe's really gay, I'm hunting you down. I'm just saying.
I with good reason. Actually, he's just going to start sparkling. He's going to be like, oh, like son of a bitch.
There was a lot of sand on me before. You couldn't see the sparkles.
A disco ball. That's it. He's going to be gay disco ball vampire Joe. Is what's going to happen.
That would be awesome. We need to write that. Just one.
I'm actually tempted to have it drawn just because.
The Judge Glenny fever dream.
Saturday night fever dream.
And here's the funny part. This is how the comic gets written.
Sitting around bullshitting.
This is it. We sit around, and then one of us says, "Oh, write it down." And the next thing you know, an issue's done.
It's called brainstorming, sir. Not bullshitting.
not the way you do it.
The way you and I do it is bullshitting. Them is brainstorming.
Fair enough.
These are legitimate guys. We're not legitimate yet.
With that Bobby Drake thing, Bendis actually slipped it into the script. And he got a call back from Axel Alonso, the editor, and is like, what the hell? Like, he literally just slipped it in. There wasn't any kind of press release about it. There wasn't any kind of, hey, I'm going to do this. He wrote it in and just sent it off. And if you know him, that's probably was one of the funniest things to him that he's ever done. Was just, I'm going to make Iceman gay right now. Watch. Write it in, send it off, didn't tell anyone.
It definitely seems like his style.
That's pretty damn cool, actually.
Alonso did an interview with, I don't know who it was. I think it was his CBR or somebody. And he's like, he goes, Bendis just submitted his script, and he just slipped in there that Iceman's gay, and he points out because Iceman's doing the usual macho thing, it's like, oh, look at that ass, and doing all this stuff, and then all of a sudden, Marvel Girl's like, why are you doing that? And he's like, what do you mean? She's like, you're gay, and he freaks out. He's like, shh, quiet, and he's freaking out about it. But the reality is that that's how she outed him, and she's like, he's like, how do you know? And she's like, I'm a telepath, dude, and your mind is screaming it right now. So that's pretty much how it went down.
It's probably just a take on, if thou dost protest too much. And so
exactly, yes.
And just comment on, for anybody that's making that much noise, they probably want to suckle some balls.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Just like I know Miguel loves it when people sit next to him in the bathroom.
Oh, what the hell?
You complain about it so much.
What about when they tap on your foot underneath the stall?
Oh, well, if you haven't heard,
their foot underneath and do the taps.
Oh,
like
nice.
Crazy senator.
Well, if you haven't heard in a while, Justin actually has someone that actually looks at him when he's in there.
Oh, it's creepy.
He's got a look.
Nice.
It's creepy.
What now?
Nice.
This is the guy at work that used to follow me into the bathroom all the time, and I would go in one stall, and he would go in the stall immediately next to me, and then look over at me. He's really tall. He's like 6'4", 6'5". I would be sitting there, and I would look up and see eyes looking down at me.
What the hell?
I know.
Now, does he look at you or does he look down?
Now, he's looking at me. Like, he met my gaze a couple of times, and I was like, what the
That's
fuck,
weirder.
dude?
I would rather you look at my cock than look me in the eyes, quite honestly. I would be more comfortable you checking out my junk than just staring into my eyes lovingly.
It's so fucking weird. It's so
How's
weird.
your stream? Everything coming out all right there, stud?
I don't know, bro. I don't know that I'd be okay with that. Especially, you're like at your most vulnerable. You're pushing something out, and you look up, and somebody's just...
Well, dude, hopefully nobody's looking in your eyes when you're doing a dump. That's a whole different
That's what he
issue.
was doing. He just said that, man.
But it's not
Seriously,
even... It's not
Justin,
even...
are you sitting on the can and
Oh, yeah.
somebody's looking at you in the eyes on the can?
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah.
That's what he just said.
How does he do that?
He's really tall.
6'5".
And the stalls are kind of like shoulder height.
No.
They're not like as tall as they should be. Obviously.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I went a whole different way with that.
No,
that's
he's
a
not
whooping.
a peaker, dude. You're
That's
thinking
a
of a
whooping.
peaker.
Yeah, no.
I came in there one time, and he was already in there doing it to somebody else because he was like in the far stall against the wall. And I came in, and he was looking over at somebody else, and his eyes looked up and saw me when I came in, and I just turned around and walked out.
I'd have yelled at him. I'd have outed him right there. I'd been, what the hell's wrong with you, man?
I told you, man. Fuckers would have died.
That's messed up. I don't care if you look at my cock. Look at my cock. I'm peeing. It's a glorious cock. Gaze upon it and go, oh. But don't look at me when I'm pinching a loaf, man. That's no man shall look upon this. So don't. That's
Justin.
weird. That's weird.
You know what you could have done, Justin, is you could have accused him of cheating on you.
Dude, I thought we had something going on here, and now I see you get stared at another dude. Really?
Well,
What the hell? And just make a big old fit about it
Seriously,
and
I
just
did.
stomp out?
He hasn't done it for a few weeks. It's been really nice. I haven't been...
You just go stare over at his cube. I'm just looking at you while you do your business.
Oh, he does come over. And look at him during the day too, and talk to him.
No, he hasn't come over.
He hadn't done it in a while. That's right. That's right. Because you,
Yeah, he hasn't talked to me in almost 2 months. It's been great.
They need to go back and listen to my rules of bathroom etiquette.
How do you engage somebody like that, though, man? I mean, he talks to you after he did what he did?
You engaged them by doing monkey school,
No.
man. I just reached back, grabbed some poo, and fling.
See, that was one of my things. I said, throw some poo
Poo at you, baby. Fuck yeah.
right now.
Well, and here's
yeah.
the thing, though. What's he going to do? How is he going to get out of it? He can't sit there and say, well, Mike threw poo at my head. It's like, well, what was your head doing where you could throw poo at
How
it?
the hell were you somewhere in the vicinity of Mike to throw poo at
Right.
you?
Exactly. And then he's got to say, well, I like to look over the wall and look at dudes taking dumps. And then he's like, well, now you have poo
I
on
was
your head,
throwing poo at you,
stupid.
too. Yeah. There's a reason you have shit off on your chin. It's plain and simple.
Ass.
Yeah.
We contributed to the internet today, Mike.
Oh, this
I
is
am
great
telling
stuff.
This is great stuff. What do you want to talk about
baby,
first,
get it.
man? Do you want to do comics, movies, or TV news?
All right, let's do comics. Why not?
Comics. Okay, so Greg Rucka has been officially announced as the writer of the Star Wars Shattered Empire series, the book that's going to bridge Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens.
Okay, I don't know this Rucka guy.
You don't know Greg Rucka?
No.
He writes Lazarus and a whole bunch of other... He's done stuff for Marvel and DC. He's been around for a long time.
Is he friends with me on Facebook?
Don't know. I don't keep track of who you're friends with on Facebook.
Is that like the barometer for whether you know him or not?
I mean, Miguel's it's very important to Miguel that people are friends with him on Facebook and Twitter.
That's right.
Kind of me too, honestly.
And Marco Cicchetto is going to be doing the artwork.
I know that name.
Yeah, he does Avengers World. He's fucking awesome. So looking forward to that.
This is cool because I don't know much of what goes on between from Return of the Jedi to where they're starting off now.
Nobody does. It's all the old continuity's been scrapped. So this is the first bit of new story we're going to get for the Star Wars universe going forward. So
That's freaking sweet. I can't wait.
Pretty excited for it. DC is apparently releasing a new line of superhero toys geared directly towards girls. They're trying to get more young girls interested in superheroes. They're making like dolls instead of action figures based on all of their properties.
Okay.
But it's not just that.
They're going to be aimed at ages 6 to 12, and it's supposed to happen in fall of this year.
So
Yeah,
Batman is a doll?
Yeah, it'll be like a Batman doll, Batgirl doll, Harley, Joker.
Well, I'll pick up the Harley.
Yeah, I know you will.
Well, it's actually all geared at girls, so it's actually all girl heroes and villains, all at the age of going through puberty. They're going to have the comics and everything about them. Mm-hmm. So it's actually really interesting because at first I was like, well, this is kind of lame because comics have always been for girls. But this is...
Are you kidding me?
Well, not really, but you know what I'm saying. We're trying to give the image that it's these things are everybody can do it, but these are specifically designed for girls. That are coming of age and everything, and they're coming of age stories. So I thought that was actually really cool about them.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you look at how much hate just women in general have gotten, especially fangirls in comics, it's just like, God, it's. Do you want this to be a sausage fest for the rest of time?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
No, I think it's a great way to get more female readers in at an early age. So.
And I have a daughter. It's awesome, and like this Action Lab has a book out called Princeless, and she digs it. And it's like, all right, thank you. Something, the tagline is Princeless, save yourself. And it's like, okay, something I can give to my kid and be like, look, she doesn't have to be saved every bloody time.
Yeah.
Wasn't DC already doing this crap with Batgirl, making her like all fan-friendly and all wussy soft?
Well, I mean, they're definitely making more books geared towards younger audiences. I mean, Batgirl's definitely geared towards the younger audience. Miss Marvel's definitely geared towards the younger audience. But this is something completely different. This is an entirely new line for DC, directed at young girls to try to get them into comic books and into superheroes and hopefully get them reading. Because, I mean, despite all of the boys' club mentality that's existed forever, like the more important thing I think is that kids read.
Yes,
because kids don't read these days at all. And if we can get them in the door with comics, then we'll. The next generation after the one we have now might actually be somewhat intelligent.
Next time we have this conversation, let's bring my wife on here. She's a school teacher. She'll tell you how much they don't read.
Yeah,
right.
We don't need it.
No, and the real
they check me out. I know how nobody reads. They check me out at Walmart.
I've got a daughter. I want her to have these books, and the reality is, I love what DC's done with Batgirl because if you create a product, you're marketing a product specifically that my kid's going to fall into. No, it's not the traditional Batgirl. No, it's not the kick-ass Cassandra Cain, League of Assassins can't talk Batgirl. Mm-hmm. But, hey, man, if it's something she can identify with and fall into, and it's something some other new reader can fall into and fall in love with, and if it keeps our medium our slowly dying medium, it seems like sometimes, fuck it, go for it. Bring that next generation in, and if this is what it takes, if it takes this female-friendly Batgirl, which I think is great, because here's the reality of it. We're a print medium. And has anybody seen what's happening with newspapers? They're not doing too well. And how long until magazines and comics and stuff like that goes the way of the dodo? I mean, It'll
go out when I die because I think I'm single-handedly keeping it alive.
Well, you guys buy a lot of books.
But you know what? Let's face reality, though, guys. There aren't any Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane size sales going on where, guess what? I just bought a house in La Jolla based on my selling Youngblood #1 and making all that money. That stuff doesn't exist anymore. This medium it's a slowly dying medium. It's so much fun, and it's going to evolve somehow. I don't know how. I'm not a futurist, but the reality is it's going to evolve. But if you need something like Batgirl out there to keep that going, keep that new generation, that new blood coming in, great, because the reality is that for the longest time, this medium has been written solely for 30-year-old men. And now those 30-year-old men are 40 or 50-year-old men, and they're not willing to spend the money the way they used to.
Yeah.
I don't like to spend the money. I'm not even that old.
But, and I'm poor. So
Well, I got my boys into it, so they love comics. My daughter's a little different animal. She likes reading the violent stuff. She likes the nail biters.
There you go.
And the Batman, the Joker story and all that stuff. Hey. No, but I agree with you. I'm interested to see what DC does. I'll probably pick one up.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, look at what it's doing, though. Think about it. If it keeps this industry alive a little bit longer, and if it brings new blood in, that's also going to bring in new creativity. It's going to bring in new stuff. And the next thing you know, hey, you might have another Gail Simone running out there. You might have a bunch of awesome female artists. And what's her name? Who did Why the Last Man? Pia, whose last name escapes me. This is. I think it's actually really important that they have this thing to hold on to and to latch onto.
I gave DC a lot of...
Ooh. Hello?
What was that?
My phone went off.
Somebody's going down.
Low battery.
250 clear.
Well, moving on. There's one piece of news in here just for you. Harley is getting a new costume in July.
Again?
It's like a halter top Superman kind of shirt looking thing with cut off jeans.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know if I'm going to like that.
Yeah, it's red and black. It's back to your old color scheme, but it looks kind of weird, kind of trashy.
Nice. Terrible.
But
so there'll be like 8,000 variants when it comes out.
Probably so.
I'll have to buy them all.
I know what a fan of Harley you are, so I thought I should mention that at least.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to like that. No, we'll see. I'll wait till it comes out.
What do you want to go on to next, movies or TV?
I want some movies.
A lot of movie stuff.
All right.
The Fantastic Four trailer debuted last week.
Serious 4. Gotcha.
Apparently I was wrong about Johnny Storm. He is going full flame on. The first image only showed his arm. The first image only showed his exposed body parts going flame style.
All right.
It did not look like the rubber suit actually caught fire, but in the new trailer you can see that that's not true. His whole body catches fire. So Johnny Storm works the way he's supposed to. The Thing, you get to see your first look at him moving around, doing stuff. He's massive. And you get to see the first look at Dr. Doom, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
The blogger.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'll see it. I'll see it.
I'll see it. I've probably not seen it opening night, but I'll see it.
Well, the kid playing Johnny Storm, I've watched him in some other shows before, and I kind of like him. So, it's okay. We'll see.
Also, the Batman vs. Superman trailer came out, which we watched right before we came on. Mm-hmm. What did you think about it?
Okay. Let's see. I've been giving DC a lot of crap the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you have.
I've been like, who gives a damn? This movie will be out 2013, 2045. Who knows?
2013 was 2 years ago.
Because we're going that far back. That's how messed up it is. We're going around. We done went around and came back.
We lost Adam.
Yeah, his battery died.
That sucks.
That's all right. I'll take it from here.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I feel like this movie's going to be out like at 2045. Who gives a damn anymore? I'm already bored, tired, and done with it. But after seeing the trailer, I don't know, I'm kind of interested. And you made a damn good comment. It feels like Injustice.
It definitely has some Injustice elements to it, and it's got a lot of Dark Knight Returns elements, obviously. But people are so upset about it because it's all dark and gritty, and that's not how they want to perceive Superman. They want Superman to be the Boy Scout, and they want it to be a light, more upbeat kind of story for Superman. But
he just freaking killed Zod last movie.
But something that I'm looking at, and I'm thinking it might be like an alternate world kind of thing. It doesn't have to be true to who Superman's always been in the comics, because there's so many versions of Superman in alternate realities that are just as messed up as anybody else.
Can we tell me Owlman's going to break out of here somewhere?
Nothing's impossible.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Henry Cavill did come out and do an interview recently and said that Batman vs. Superman is not supposed to be a Man of Steel sequel. It's truly a Batman movie that Superman just happens to be in.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of an interesting way to look at it. That explains the darkness and the grimness to it. And so many people are just so up in arms about it. I don't know.
We'll see how Batfleck does.
Yeah. The suit looks kind of cool.
I thought it looked kind of cool, yeah. I wasn't excited. I got, really down about it with all the stuff they've been talking about, all the changes and this kind of crap. But after seeing that, I'm kind of back in it again. I'm good. I'm excited to see it.
Speaking of Batman,
Okay.
Lego Batman now has an official release date.
Sweet!
February 10th, 2017.
Nice.
So that'll be fun, probably.
Lego Batman.
Did you
First
see
try.
the, see the Lego movie, Mike?
Yeah, I did.
Lego Batman was pretty awesome, right?
Lego Batman was pretty awesome. Quite honestly, though, my favorite was Lego Lando Calrissian.
Yeah.
What's up, sweet ladies?
There's so many great
hell
things in that
yeah,
movie.
you smooth Mac Colt 45 drinking motherfucker.
I enjoy the Lego movie. For me, it was all about Batman. He stole the show. like through all the batarangs. First try. It was like awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. Will Arnett voicing him is actually really funny.
Yeah, I
like Will
he's
Arnett.
about as perfect as I can be.
See, I'm stoked for Lego Batman.
You're gonna like this next bit of news too.
Okay.
Common, who you're a big fan of because of Hell on Wheels,
Mr. Ferguson.
has been cast in a mystery role in the Suicide Squad movie.
Oh, nice.
People are speculating it's going to be Jon Stewart or Bronze Tiger.
I think I like him more as Bronze Tiger.
Yeah, I see Ron Tiger on that one.
I want Tyrese for Jon Stewart.
Why?
It's because it's Roman, bitches.
Tyrese is horrible. Idris Elba for Jon Stewart, man.
Have you not seen The Furious 7? Come on.
I saw it.
Honestly, you'd give Idris Elba anything, dude. I never want to see that dude work in anything that's not some bullshit serious movie again. He doesn't get to go play in fun movies.
Because he hates it.
Yeah, he's bitching about playing, what's his face in Thor?
Heimdall.
Yeah.
Hemdall, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, bitching about that. Oh, I was playing Nelson Mandela last week, and now I'm putting on this ridiculous outfit and standing here. What am I doing? Nothing. You're fired, dick. No
You know
more
what?
fun movies for you.
You changed my mind, Mike. I don't want Idris Elba for Jon
Yeah,
Stewart.
fuck that dude,
That's
man.
true. That's true. His attitude does suck. But I don't want Tyrese either. Tyrese is terrible.
That's terrible.
Like, you fucking play pretend for a living, motherfucker. If you want to bitch about your job and what you do, then go play boring-ass bullshit. Hey, Mandela's a great dude. You're not. You just play like him, dick.
Wait, you want
Give
Morgan
me a
Freeman as
fucking
Jon Stewart?
cool-ass helmet and a sword. I'll show up every goddamn day to work. You know what I do for a living, dick? All right,
know.
sorry, rant over.
No,
I don't know who I'd cast as Jon Stewart. But it wouldn't be Tyrese. Tyrese is horrible.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that, too. That's not okay.
And then the last part of movie news is Marvel has officially announced Nicole Perlman and Meg LaFave are going to be the writers of the Captain Marvel movie.
huh?
They were in consideration before, but now it's an official thing. So
Captain Marvel.
that's kind of cool. I'm really excited for the Captain Marvel movie.
Who's Captain Marvel?
We don't know yet. We'll find out, I'm sure.
Probably Kaylee Coco or something like that.
That would be an odd choice.
Yeah. No, it'll be a chick that was dating George Clooney before he got married. What's her name? The wrestler.
Stacey Keibler.
Yeah, Stacey Keibler.
Only if they're casting just say solely on ass.
Well, you got to look good, right?
It's like the whole movie is just following her ass around.
Well, you know, wrestlers can act. They do it for a living.
Some of them.
Some of them.
She's not one. I'm a big wrestling fan. I'll let you know she's okay. She's not okay. Hot as hell. Not a good actor.
That's it for movies. And there's only a couple things for TV. We talked about Preacher for a minute earlier. Mm-hmm. So Dominic Cooper, who played Howard Stark in the Agent Carter miniseries, is going to be playing Jesse Custer in Preacher.
Okay.
So kind of an interesting choice.
He's not bad, though. Did you see Need for Speed?
No, I didn't see Need for Speed.
No, he's okay. I mean, I don't have a problem. He's pretty decent, I think.
He was decent as Howard Stark.
Yeah.
But Jesse Custer's a whole different animal.
Well, you know, you never
I
thought
don't really know how strong of an actor he is if he can pull that off.
Well, you know, you talk about Jonah Hill the other day. I mean,
That's true. People can't surprise you.
James Franco, you know, he pulled one over on you. You didn't think he was capable of acting.
I said he's hit or miss. I didn't say he wasn't capable of acting. He's done some stinkers.
And then you got McConaughey. I mean, come on, Lincoln commercials are off the chain.
Yeah, he's just awful. McConaughey's the worst. I know that.
Come on, man.
All right. They gave me a Lincoln. All right.
Terrible, like I said.
Hey, Lincoln, y'all got a joint in this car? Cooler if you did.
And then the very last piece of TV news, which should come as no surprise to anybody, Daredevil was renewed for season 2.
That's a
Yeah, no shit.
yeah. I have to eat some crow here. Season 1 was good. I enjoyed it. I really did.
Good?
Better than I thought.
I had to drag that out of him last episode.
Well, I had a problem. I didn't think we were comparing it to other TV shows, but we broke it down via Netflix shows and everything else. And I have to admit, it's probably the best Netflix show I've ever seen. I thought the Kingpin stole the show. And I thought the guy that played Daredevil was a good choice. So I thought the fight scenes were like the greatest thing of the show because they were so amazing. And then the one scene we talk about all the time is him fighting in the hallway. It was just totally awesome.
Yeah.
It was like so realistic. So
Well, that was the uncut one. That was the one where it was just one long-ass fight scene. No cuts, no edits. That was one long-ass fight scene. And what I loved is you could see him getting tired. When have you ever seen a superhero movie or a comic book movie where the hero got tired and was like, I'm barely going to make it through this fight?
No, it was perfect. I loved it.
Yeah, that was badass.
And I like the transition of the Kingpin from where how he was and what he became at the end. And
he's bitching.
that dude's one hell of an actor.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Looking forward to that. And that's all the news for the week. I do have to tell everybody that we have some giveaways coming up.
All right.
Comic Palooza in Houston is happening Memorial Day weekend, May 22nd through the 25th. We're giving away 2 4-day passes. So the way you can win the first one is by going to Facebook or Twitter and finding the post that I made saying, please retweet this or share this, and follow us and do that, and you can be entered to win. And the other way is by emailing comicalpodcast@gmail.com and telling us who your favorite Masters of the Universe character is and why.
We know it's Merman.
So those are the 2 ways you can win one of the 4-day passes. Also, I want to remind everybody that you can find us in a couple of different places now. You can find us on nerdbong.com, Wicked Radio Network, Beyond the Dawn Radio, and Your City Radio. That's UR City Radio, every Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
Woohoo!
You can also find us on iTunes and Stitcher and SoundCloud. Now all of our entire catalog is available on SoundCloud and YouTube. So we are officially everywhere you can be.
Man, we sound like a disease.
I'm telling you, y'all are spreading. You're like herpes.
There's a cream for that.
We're the herpes of podcasting. I've also revised the website, so if you haven't checked that out yet, go look at it. Let me know what you think. Made a couple changes. I think it looks pretty good. We're also going to be having a Cafe Press site coming within the next couple of weeks, where you'll be able to buy different T-shirts. The Shovel My Shit Tour shirt Miguel's been talking about for a long time. We may have a new shirt after our conversation with Mike and Adam today.
Yeah.
Miguel the Mushroom. What did you say, Mike?
We keep him in the dark and we just feed him shit.
Earlier you said if you took my kidney, be pissing what?
Oh, yeah. If I took your kidney, I would wake up every morning and piss excellence.
That's right. I like that shirt. Piss excellence. That's going to be my motto. 2015.
That's the show name, Piss Excellence. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled for the Cafe Press site and go buy some shirts when it's up there. And also, don't forget to go and support these guys by going to Kickstarter and searching for Blood and Dust. Their book is awesome.
Yes, it is. You should definitely go out and support them. Follow them on Twitter and follow them on Facebook.
Yeah, where do they find you, Mike?
Mine is at Blood and Dust. Adam is at Nightshade Comics. He spelled the comics weird, so just make sure you're looking for Adam Warndorf. NightshadeComics.com is our new website. We just got it up. We're still improving that a little bit. Podcast, nightshadecomics.podbean.com.
Or iTunes.
Yeah, or iTunes. Absolutely. We're on iTunes. You guys will have to show me how to flex my muscle and all that other stuff. Pod godfathers of mine.
No problem.
And Facebook.com/Nightshade Comics for our Facebook page.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to set up a tour stop on the Bamcast.
Yeah. You want Miguel to come on?
Yeah, absolutely. We have Miguel on.
Oh, that's gonna be
You might frighten Brian. I don't know how we're going to do that, Brian. That's going to be interesting because I already pretty much damaged Brian. So,
real quick question on that. When do you guys record?
Usually on Saturday afternoons. We've been doing every other Saturday just simply because I'd like to have somewhat of a life, But every other Saturday has been what we've been doing. So it's about the regularity I think we're going to stick with for a while at least.
Okay. Well, I'll message you later, and then we'll talk about when I can come on. I'll probably do it I was trying to do it from Starbucks, but it was too much noise, so I basically do it from Justin's house now.
He said he couldn't be himself at Starbucks.
I couldn't be myself, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard being, Starbucks is not really the place to freak out your barista.
So I'll just give you a call.
Cool, man.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter also. I'm at Comical Podcast.
Got my Comical Podcast, too.
And on Facebook, we're facebook.com/Comical Podcast. And that is pretty much it. Do you want to close out the show, Mike?
All right, everybody. Well, just remember, keep on laughing, bitches.
Nice.
What are you doing on Memorial Day weekend? Well, forget that, because Comic Palooza 2015 is almost here. At Comic Palooza, you'll see your favorite celebrities, comic book creators, and authors. Hear super cool musical acts. Experience crazed cosplay events, rowdy professional wrestlers, raucous roller derby girls, literally thousands of hours of programming, and so much more. Celebrity guests appearing at Comic Palooza this year include Jeremy Renner, that's right, Hawkeye from the Avengers, stars of the hit Fox series Gotham, Star Trek's George Takei, oh my, the Fonz himself, Henry Winkler, ayy, comic book superstar Stan the Man Lee, and of course me, Kyle Aber, that anime and video game voice actor guy. Follow Comic Palooza on social media, on Twitter, at Comic Palooza, Instagram at Houston Comic Palooza, and like us on Facebook to keep up with amazing guest announcements as they happen. Remember, Comic Palooza at the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston, Texas. Memorial Day weekend, May 22nd to 25th. Get your passes today. Head over to www.comicpalooza.com for all the details.